Aloha mai kako. Māuiakalana and the mo'olelo of him securing the secret of fire has us with this activity today. Our infants, we're going to use yet another Ziploc bag and some ice. We're going to place it inside. Can you kokua? You're gonna close it up. And we're going to have them use friction, act of rubbing things in your heat to melt it. Okay. I can do this. Our older keiki, for our toddlers and our preschoolers, you're gonna have them with a container of ice. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to talk about friction and how friction is used to rub things together, like Māuiakalana had to with the different mea kanu and the different plants to create fire. So we're gonna leave that here. Ready? This is where you're going to grab an ice cube. Can you grab an ice cube? The cold of the ice cube almost acts as if our skin might be getting burns. So this is a safer version than touching heat, but we're gonna have the ice in our hands and we're gonna talk about friction, okay? So friction is the cause of rubbing things together. So rub your hands together and we're gonna see what happens to the ice. Okay, so if you rub it slowly, what happens?
It feels like it's burning.
Feels like it's burning your lima, right? But if you rub it really quick, what happens?
It feels like I'm stepping on tiny rocks.
Still kind of hurts, but what also happens is that the ice starts to melt and it turns into water. So we went from a solid to what's going to end up happening in your bore container is you're going to have liquid. So the cause of that was by friction. So very similar to what Māuiakalana had to do to get fire. So we can use it here and rub it just as he did with the stick. Yeah, rub, keep rubbing. Or we can just sit there and see what happened. Is anything going to happen if we keep it in our hands?
It's going to start to melt if you're outside from the heat.
From the heat. So we can also take this activity from an indoor activity to outdoors. If you're outside and the sun is out and it's nice and bright, you can try and just have the bucket or the container of ice sit outside and see what happened. The heat from the sun will then start to melt the ice, just as the heat from rubbing things together and causing friction will start to melt the ice and make it into water. This was important because Māuiakalana secured the secret of fire for us to cook our food. Otherwise, we wouldn't have fire today. Okay. Our infants, you're still gonna have them do it inside of the Ziploc bag. You can have a big one or a small one, or you can have multiple. And we're going to have them either use their feet as they're starting to learn how to walk, or even by holding them up and they have their feet touching. Or again, while they're in their tummy time, you can have them reach out to feel the ice. In certain areas, you can have multiple where you have one in front. You maybe want to have two on the side if you can. Then that way, as the infant starts to move, they can feel the difference between a cold temperature and what would be regular right in front of them. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again.